Hello, sports fans from around the world. It's the one you've been waiting for, the NRL SuperCoach BDE podcast, here to dive into all the booming round 9 NRL action. We're going to unpack the team list. We're going to give you waiver recommendations and free agency, and we're even going to sneak a bit of buy low, sell high action. Simo, I love when we talk that sort of language, mate. Gets me most of the stuff.
Oh, doesn't it? Like buy low, sell high. It's a big time of the year for it. We're sort of prime trade season at the moment. Like it's round 9 for a lot of 10-man leagues out there. This is sort of the end of the round robin, so you will have played everyone at least once in your league. Obviously, our league's got origin rounds coming up, or bye rounds. A lot of leagues do. So there's a lot of moving parts at the moment, and it's just a good time for waivers and a good time for trade action. So keen to talk it with you boys later on.
Absolutely. Well, the Todd man looking resplendent as ever. And I tell you what, mate, I do like the little wave going in the hair today. Very nice.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do have some hair, so that's nice. Thank you for that. Mate, great weekend of footy. The NRL do it well with the old Anzacs. So really good weekend of footy and looking forward to this week, mates.
Absolutely. The last post, they do it very well. Do love a bit of last post to pay homage to those. So shout out to the Anzacs. What a crazy time. Our man Dom is in. Hello to Dom. Welcome back, lads. Another big week ahead. Toddy, as always, looking fast. Does he what?
I am fast. You just asked the missus.
Fast to you. I was going to say fast to get out of here, but that was better. Geez, tell you, your comedy routine's come a long way, Todd. That's good.
Thanks, mate. Learn from the best.
Welcome to... Thank you. Welcome to our loyal listeners who've dived in. Now, folks, we do have a bit of a gap. There is, in fact, only Friday night action is when we kick off. No Thursday night footy. So extra bit of time to get these trades through, gentlemen, I feel. Good bit of timing. Extra night to chip away. So we'll absolutely, as we go on, the gentlemen have been instructed, as of right now, to think about buy low, sell highs as we go. I do have one really big one that I want to share today as an overarching, so I'll leave that one in the chamber. As always, listeners, we love to field your questions, engage in a bit of banter, just making sure we're trying to keep to each game as we present it if we can, at least one of the players as part of your trades or whatever you're thinking. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can. But, the questions have been coming in thick and fast, just like Todd's up.
Fuck on fast.
Fuck on fast. All right, gentlemen. Bulldogs v Cowboys. Huge game for the Dogs here, boys. Like, it's starting to get a little bit desperate, to be honest. He has finally been dropped. I think Montoya's been honestly responsible for about 8 to 10 points a week against, and I love the bloke. He's a fantastic podcaster. It just wasn't happening for him from a football sense for a little while. He's been leaky. So Tuala does come into the wing, which is what I suspected. It's just obviously the injury to our man Kiraz means we're not 100% sure who retains, because Jonathan Suarez looked okay, Simo, to be fair. Like, good base as well.
Yeah. Can
you just make some sense of the wing situation for me, mate, and a bit of now and future?
Oh, it's pretty tricky, as you just said. Look, future is very hard to know who's going to have the inside running out of Suar and Tuala. I mean, the way I'd sort of look at it is I just think, as of right now, they're both very similar. Whoever performs better in the time that Kiraz is gone is going to, could easily run away with that job. So I'm not going to say that any one guy has a mortgage on that spot. Look, they're both. Tuala has actually had a bit of a renaissance this year. Like, we've talked about him quite a lot as a bit of a super coach. Like, he's never been a gun, but like this year, he sort of put together some really good scores, albeit as a center. So he's someone that definitely needs to be looked at. And same too with Jonathan Suar. I mean, like, he scored 50 or so last week in pretty much just pure base. So 20 plus runs was very good to see from him. So they're both they're both guys you could look to pick up and play. I know in sort of probably deeper leagues, like Suar is probably going to be like garnishing a bit of waiver attention, like in those leagues where Tuala's already owned. But it's hard with the Dogs because they've just been so pedestrian in attack at the moment. They just look so brutal to watch. But if any sort of attacking stats can come their way, those guys will be all right. So definitely guys to keep an eye on.
Yep, I'm going to go slightly harder as a Tuala truther. Surprise, surprise. I think he will sew up a win spot here. I think his early season form means he's going to get the nod. I think it's a pretty good matchup as well for a bit of bounce back. Cowboys away from home, I quite like it. I'd also start Bronson Jerry after his stinker last week too. I think there's some points to be had here. So I don't mind if you're pretty needy for that platoon 4th, 5th CT dub. Low-end claim for mine. To the great question in the chat here, Todzer. This is a really good one from Dom. He's come out firing. Where do you see Tilly Tupanua in the rotation? 80-minute man or rotate in the middle after 50, 60 minutes of lock? Todzer, I want you to add who you think benefits most from the current rotation.
I think Tilly probably plays 50 on the edge and gets spelled by Curran. Benefit-wise, I would be happy to start Tupanua. He's a front row eligible, I believe. So I'll be happy to start him with 50 minutes on an edge. Hopefully hit some upside. That's what I would be doing. But he's definitely not going to play 80. He doesn't have legs to play 80 these days.
I'd be bigger on Leo Thompson, Todzer. I think he showed a bit last week, and I think he's going to take over this forward pack without Max King there, of course. When Max King's back, don't know exactly how it looks, but I think he started to show a bit last week as he got his match fitness up. I think he benefits most from this rotation, personally.
Yeah, it's a good shout. He played pretty well last week, to be honest.
He did.
In a pretty shit Bulldogs team.
He's used to playing decently in poor performing teams from his time at the night. So he's fit right in, to be fair.
I'm going to the top 4 team and we suck still. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'd start Tupanua as well if you need to. I think in FRF, that's absolutely fine. He'll get enough. All right. Moving over to the Cowboys. Biggest bit of news is poor Murray Taulagi, gentlemen. He, unfortunately, the concussions are starting to stack up for the man, and it's a shame because I'm a huge Murray Taulagi fan. I think he's outstanding at what he does. So big out, and I think it gives a great opportunity. Zach Labour. Simo, could you low-end waiver? Because I wouldn't say it's a guarantee Taulagi comes back anytime soon. I know there was talk of just a couple of weeks, but we've seen these concussion moments like Willie Warbrick last quite a long time. Labour's a talent. He is playing on a side of the pitch that can generate tries. Is there any interest here for you?
Oh, very mildly. I mean, he hasn't looked very good this year, to be honest, Labour. I know he hasn't always played left. We're talking about the real estate that he's taken over, like that left wing. I get that. Yeah. So we can't compare apples to apples with him, but I don't know. I mean, it'd have to be a bit of a deeper league. He's not someone I'm recommending as like a mega high waiver because there's just too many factors. Like, yes, you're right, Taulagi could take a while to come back, but I'm just not all in on sort of the player himself. So for that, I'm a little bit sort of out on him. But like, I wouldn't begrudge anyone that spends sort of a low end waiver, but I wouldn't go anywhere higher than like in a 10-man league. I'd only go like probably 7 or lower, to be honest.
Tuala, just looking at the many people that are needing CT dub potentially this week, there's some injuries and odd sort of moments here. Would you have Tuala ahead or behind Labour?
Yeah, I'd have Tuala in front, but it's only just. It's
Yep, I'm the same.
Yeah, it's not a huge sell.
Yep, yeah. I'm with you. Jeremiah Nane. Simo, I think of this podcast, we're the closest to truthers because we love the talent and it can happen, could click. What did you think? It was just one of those get him in there, get him some minute type games. And do you think now he'll be dropped if he was picked up in a lot of leagues? This could be a post-waiver pickup type guy. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, if anyone picked him up last week and dropped him before he played, I think there's sort of no point in anyone picking them up, to be honest. So, I mean, if that's happened, then yeah, you can look to pounce because we don't think he's going to be a world beater or anything. But yeah, I think you're right. First came back from a big injury, came off the bench obviously and played decent minutes without being great. Pumped out, 35-point score, so nothing to write home about. But if he can get back to playing 80 minutes, which he has every chance of doing this week, he's still well in the Origin frame. Like he played like bugger all minutes off the bench in Game 3 last year, so he was still around that. He should find his way to that squad pretty easily. So he'll be wanting to play good minutes at the Cowboys to get that. So I think he's a pretty safe like number 3 TRF. He's obviously going to have a bit lower floor than a lot of guys you're going to look to pick up, but you're looking at that ceiling like he's a try scorer. He can offload here and there. So without being like a prodigious offloader, but he has shown that. So yeah, he's just sort of that type of player. Not a bad number 3.
Just trying to remember back to when he had some complaints about 18 months ago. And it was around, it was the start of the season prior, and there was talk of his preferred side. So Lukey's been carving up on the right. Is Nane's preferred on the left? Is that where he's supposed to be?
Yeah, I feel as though Nene prefers right as well because
That's what I thought. Yeah,
he's that right-hand carry.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, a lot of right-hand dominant carries are going to prefer that side because you can obviously flick
Yeah.
pass and get the
Yeah.
inside offload. So, yeah, like him being on the left is a like a mild concern for mine. Like, just because he just looks a bit out of place, passing sort of on that left-hand side of the field without that, with that sideline just that bit closer. So, yeah, it's something that like I might factor in a little bit, but you're getting the guy off free agency here, or waivers, I should say. Like those little things may be a slight concern if he doesn't perform well, but at that point you could look to move him on.
Beautiful, thanks, mate. I just wanted to spend a bit of time there because it's a tease of a talent. I think is Jeremiah Nene for SuperCoach. So I also would hate in one of those weeks where Cowboys don't show up, I would not want to be starting Jeremiah Nene. So there is that as well. Yeah. Dolphins on to Storm, and the player that I want to focus right in on, Mr. Todzer, is our man, Trey Fuller, showing that he pretty much is just matchup and SuperCoach position proof. He is just electric when he's on the field, man. Like
just a baller. Just a baller.
He's awesome. So low-hanging fruit, mate, that's just a number one overall if you've got it. If he's still out there, I don't think it's particularly close this week.
No, that's fair. I haven't gone through all the teams yet, but yeah, he would be a pretty easy number one. Especially this week, you're like people are starting Sloan or in that Gutherson range, or there's some real need at fullback. So definitely. Yeah,
he'll of course, if you are playing bye rounds, has the best possible bye schedule with all the major byes played as well, which is fantastic because obviously the Hammer is a lock somewhere in that Queensland team. So. Brad Schneider playing in the 6 is not good for their overall prospects, and boy, does it give a chance for these Storm to bounce back and win a grindy match here. I'm not very excited about this matchup from a SuperCoach perspective. I think it'll be very low scoring. They're going to grind, and it's going to be a little dull. I think Storm are going to try and wind back the clock and just play as safe as houses in this one. So I'm not as excited, but if you buy into the Storm just absolutely stink defensively, I could be way off here. So just my call. Now, no JMK staying with your Todzer, for your beloved Finns.
Yep.
I said a couple of weeks ago, mate, that's starting to get long enough that it's become a little bit painful. Not even on the extended. I know you're going to hold, but Jesus, that's starting to get a long time to burn a hole on rosters. So if you were in roster squeeze mode, mate, it's getting close, right?
Yeah, I can see it getting close. I'm kind of in a roster squeeze mode with JMK this week. I got Cook on bye, JMK not playing. Like I'm on a real squeeze, but I just think that if JMK can come back into this team, and they definitely do need him. I think Maxi Plath has been serviceable at hooker. Actually been pretty decent, but I definitely think this team is missing him at lock. So again, I would be still holding, and I'm still going to hold this week. So that's just my opinion. But It is getting close, mate. Like, start of the season when he did it, it was like sort of 7, 8, or 9, and now we're getting into 9. It's not even on the extended. It's pretty concerning.
It is. It's been a long while. This is a great welcome back, Paul. Good to have you, mate. Plath worth a pickup or minutes uncertain given JMK. He played. I said to both of you, I thought Plath had his best game for the Finns. He looked fantastic. Pardon me, his service from hooker probably improved. Maybe he's just picked up the position. I think may hurt JMK's minutes going forward was my concern. So if you aren't sure, definitely a chance that, Plath, pick him up for this week for sure. He may actually hold a longer role in this side and play a bit of 13 as well. Couple of questions around this game, gentlemen. Big Daddy, good to have you, mate.
Big Daddy, 69.
Hammer,
Big Daddy, 69. Get in there.
Yeah, Hammer. I don't know what that is. Just some random number, I suppose, Jets. Yeah. Hammer, Fuller, and Ponga. I could never sit Kalen Ponga if I owned him, gentlemen. I'm just putting him in there. That's just how I roll. So I would have the Hammer and Ponga. I'm fine with that. I think the matchup is maybe not great for either of the Dolphins boys, but Ponga and who, gentlemen?
Because if you sit in the Hammer, I mean,
it's pretty hard to sit him. He's averaging 7 or something. Yeah.
Let's not overthink it.
Yep, agree. Would I look to trade one? Ponga, it depends what league you play. In our league, Ponga would still fetch a hefty price because we've got a league of believers. Depends on your league. You might just want to wait till he does some stuff first, mate. So you might just have to wait. Hammer's value a little dented, and then Fuller's more valuable to you because you own Hammer. So Yeah, if I was going to trade any of those, probably the Hammer, to be honest. If I thought value, given the origin period is going to be very rough for him, I'd be the Hammer.
Yeah.
Cobbo, very good question. Cobbo at risk of getting dropped with Bostic coming back. I don't think so, personally.
Absolutely not. Not even close.
No chance. Yeah. Oh, that would be like one of. Well, that's one of those things that's just like pseudo written into his contract when he left the Broncos to come across. Like, as obviously they're not going to have it in writing, but geez, I really think he's just got a mortgage on a spot whole season, really.
And like he hasn't produced like crazy scores to Supercoach, but real life, I think he's always been really, really good for them. Like really safe, really solid. So I think he's locked that down, mate. He's a talent.
I do too, Meso. Good to have you back, mate. Of course, one of our absolute loyal listeners. Meso's added, would there be just too much Origin going on with Hammer and maybe Cobbo himself? Cobbo's not playing Origin. Hammer will. So there's Bostock a chance to get it. Well, he'll get a run in that window, of course, in those Origin rounds. That's about it. Oh, my bad. Golden Ridge, I didn't mean to click on that this early. Did not tip his team, but he played good. Dylan Brown did play fantastic. Good to hear some Knights love. All right, we're going over to Melbourne now, gentlemen. So finally, some changes have been seen. Of interest to us, if you are the Hughes owner and you needed to fire up a halfback eligible player, Tyron Wishart is very team dependent, whether it's a waiver or not. If you're absolutely stuck, absolutely fine with it. Like, he's shown he can be a good Supercoach player. Obviously, for a minute there when it looked like Hughes had gone down with a wrist injury, you're thinking Tyron Wishart's going to be way up there, but just team needy. If I didn't own Hughes, probably not for me.
That's fair. Always loves a meat pie, old Wishart.
He does. Good play. Good pick up by the Bears. One of the better ones, actually.
He's haven't been blown out of the water recently.
Shawn Blore. I just can't. I can't get around it. Not with Chan on the pine. I love the hair, but I just quick thumbs up, thumbs down, gentlemen. Yep.
Not a Shawn Blore guy for me.
Tough decision for Simo. He's frozen. There he is. He's back. So thumbs up, thumbs down on Shawn Blore, please, Simo.
No.
Flat no. He's got to about there, but no, can't do it. Lasardi, we've said, gentlemen, if you've got a league that has slept on him being on your roster, he shouldn't be. I would have Fuller first if he's out there personally, but I would be a very close number 2 is Lasardi. Just go get him.
Yeah.
Munster will literally be doing everything to get this guy involved. 100%.
Yeah.
Those comments getting a run here. I like this. Chiefs already have a better roster than Bears with only 2 players. I completely agree. Wow, what a start. Fantastic. He is going to be our record try scorer is going to be hero worshipped over there.
Just before we move on from the Melbourne game, I do have a question just about Melbourne. So Dario says he's had a trade offered to him. Sharp and Milky Jenkins for Munster and Burbo / or Lasardi. He's the Munster owner. So, I mean, Sharp and Milky for Munster and Burbo, I would be
1,000 trillion million gone. That's a gift. That's an absolute gift.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think so too.
Where did Lasardi? Is he the one giving up Lasardi or getting Lasardi as well?
No, so it's he's the Munster owner, so he can either trade away Munster and Burbo or Munster and Lasardi. I'd be trading Burbo every day of the week, twice on Sundays, for Milky and Sharp.
I actually don't. I don't care between Burbo and Lasardi. I'm fine, just because the only part of it is Lasardi's absolute guaranteed in the role. That's the only problem. Just the tiniest.
And Burbo sucks at football.
Not at Supercoach anymore, baby. Not at
here we go. Here we go. Turn it up.
75 that man is averaging this year. 75. Unbelievable.
Yeah. that's the one I had from Facebook, boys.
Meso, how dare you? Meso, as someone out there is a Burbo truther. I don't think it's you. Either am I, to be fair. It's just funny that he's averaging 70. I'm not at all. I'm just enjoying the fruits of the free pickup. So, that'd be a sick trade. Let us know, mate. If that trade gets through, that would be phenomenal. Alec McDonald, I don't know how he's starting in the NRL. That blows my mind. Trent Lear is not great, but he's not. He's better than Alec McDonald. All right, moving on. Titans versus the Raiders. So we get to see Simi Sasangi playing on an edge, which is kind of cool. And I think if you're an owner, I don't know, maybe slightly higher base, but he still get his. Surely he still gets his, Todd.
Yeah, you'd think so. I think he does. Yeah. He's just a talent, dude. Like, he just makes, like, even at center, like, just creates everything for himself. He's unbelievable.
And it obviously, the timing of the Noah Martin injury just couldn't happen better for Timoko owners as well, because I think this is pretty much what's going to happen. And it's going to be Sasangi on the right, and it'll be Huddy on the left, and Hosking back into that sort of rotational role. So credit those who got on Timoko. If people still aren't believing and think he's worth nothing, he most certainly isn't. He's pretty bloody good at football. So I would be, happy with them. Chris is back in the center and Tamale is back. So, and then obviously then the X-Man just to come back in on the right wing, and then you've got your full Raiders complement. All right. Arda Mariota, FRF2 at all? Just quick thumbs up, thumbs down.
Not really. Not an edge.
I think he's okay as a free agent. It reeks of someone who has lower base on an edge and then doesn't play enough minutes to do much with it. So it is a bit risky.
Just quickly to jump back to Big Daddy random number. Legends, best advice around. Thank you, good sir. Lasardi is back. Got offered Luai for him. My 5/8 is AJ and Atua F Duncan for Feeder Plath. Yeah, I'm fine with that. You need you need better than you can't win a league with AJ at 5/8. So
I offered Luai.
That's fine. I'm not saying Luai is like the absolute bee's knees, but he's got enough upside in that Tigers team to be a lot better than AJ Brimson. So I'm on board with that. Will Fuller get dual if he keeps playing center before round 12? Yeah, he will. Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be handy for the Fuller owners.
Very much so. I'll come back to that one. Sorry, Travis. Got a bit early. So just, trying to... Oh, my apologies. We started the game. I haven't even got to the Titans yet, but we'll go over there now. Trade value for Fermor, looking for a CTW. I personally would have Daddy Fermor still on the buy low list. So if I was an owner, I wouldn't be looking to trade personally. You're probably selling at a really bad time, Sumo, I would think, for Daddy Fermor.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt you're selling him at his floor. Obviously, Travis sounds like he's made up the decision he wants to sell him. So if you're looking for a CTW, I mean, you're looking at that range of like someone on the cusp of like the top 20, maybe. Obviously, if you can get top 15, that'd be great. But like it might be hard. It'd be really hard to get this after the week he just had. But like, if you could have, hypothetically, if you could have got To'o last week, obviously you're not going to get that now, probably.
I got one.
Shoot.
Dom Young with a couple of slightly lower weeks. Someone might be a bit like, didn't draft him that high. I still like Dom Young's upside in your CTW if that's what you're after, like third or fourth CTW.
Yeah, like a couple of that's a good shout. I mean, if you believe in Val Holmes bouncing back, like obviously he's on buy this week, you could shoot for him. Bradman Best is another one. Like they're guys who aren't without a shadow of a top 10 finish in the CTW, but haven't really shown that at this point. If you can get someone around that sort of range, it's probably a good way to go.
I like the messaging though there, Simo. We think better days ahead for Daddy and don't give him up for nothing. Like he's definitely got value rest of the season. Yeah, good shout. Good stuff, gentlemen. Unfortunately, Chris Randall comes in to just make us bide a bit longer time on Cooper Buyer, but I feel like Cooper Buyer has shown enough to be a super coach value in the future. Looking at the rest of it, poor Sam Verrills is getting handicapped plenty. Fayamani, gentlemen, has to be mentioned because the story has at least improved in recent times. That base that we hoped would be there has just started to come up. I don't hate the matchup either in Gold Coast, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I like a free agent pickup for him. I think he showed that he could be that Brian To'o light of late. All right. think Raiders, that's really it. If Timoko was still out there, yes. Jaden Brayley in the 13 for a 1 week special. Just really quickly, minutes chopped up too much, Todzer, surely.
There's no way he starts there, eh? Like they'll play Smithies in there. Like, yeah, this is sticky as being sticky.
I love it. I think he's literally just trying to make sure Owen Paddy is shown that he's not forgotten about to get him in the 18 because you can't have two hookers on the bench. That's what it looks like. I still think the Jaden Brayley signing is absolutely nuts when you got Owen Paddy.
Bonkers.
I got Owen Paddy. I would say even at this stage of his career is better than at least 3 or 4 starting hookers in the NRL. I'm super confident with.
Easily, yes. Yeah.
And I'm looking at one Bulldogs hooker times 2.
Yeah.
Like, can you tell me how at the start of the game of NRL, gentlemen? Did you watch that performance?
Yeah. There's a reason they lost, bro.
What is he doing there? That's service. You see his players looking at him, he's like, out in front. That's crazy to watch to me. All right. I'll move on to the Eels versus the Wars. And as always, Todzer, I like to give you front row seat for this one, mate. No seat obtained to a peaky, at least for this week's, hanging on to that fullback and finally delivered. Finally had a game, both Supercoach and real life, where you're like, thank God for that. He was beaten the first man a few times because it has been not that. If he builds, if he can put one more on Todzer, you have to feel CNK's only spot is to jump into the centres, right? One more. Yeah,
seems like I don't even need to know if he needs one more. Like, I'm a big CNK guy. I've said it on this podcast, and I think we look safer with CNK at the back.
We do.
But just like Tanner Boyd and Luke Metcalf, I don't think we win the comp with CNK at the back. And if this Warrior team needs to win the comp this year, we need Metcalf and Tuapiki has to be the fullback. I get it. I'd love to see CNK come back into the centres. It'd be great. But yeah, I think Tuapiki. I think Simo's right on this one. Tuapiki keeps that spot.
I hope so. I really do.
All hail.
Yeah, hail Tuapiki.
Still worries me. I may not want Simo to be right a lot of the time because I like our differing opinion, but this is one I definitely want you to be right on, Simo. It's fun to watch. He adds another layer. And if he can hold on to this fullback slot, CTW eligible, woof. Brilliant. Love it. Pompey comes in. Do think that could be CNK's spot. So if CNK is dropped, Simo, especially if you're the Tuapiki owner, he makes a shit ton of sense, right?
Yep. Yeah, if you own Tane, like obviously if you're running Tane at fullback for whatever reason, if you're really at the roster pinch, then yeah, like that's a handcuff that's so obvious. You just need to do it.
And remember, Simo, that if that does happen, CNK also will get dual by round 12. So he only needs to play one more game. So that's a no-brainer, right?
I really think he should have got it last time, to be honest. So yeah, round 12's a given.
I think the fact that Max Blath was the only one considered for reasons unknown is just ridiculous. So it's silly. All right. Moving on forward, nothing to see there with Capewell. Will the real Lecker the Wrecker stand up, Todzer? It has not been good. And Supercoach average, and I'd say real life too, he's been pretty underwhelming. He's just not... You know how some of those big boys, you really want them to hit the ball at steam instead of just, like, think of the worst of Big Fifi when he just gets the ball in that station and he tries to get trundling and the defense sort of just rolling down. Lecker's kind of doing that now, and it's frustrating to watch as a league fan. I want to say buy low, mate, but Jesus, we're getting 8 weeks into the year here, and it's not happening.
Yeah, I love the buy low shout. I'm a big buy low on Lecker. There's definitely better days to come. I think his role's changed a little bit this year with that, getting the bigger minutes, focusing a lot more on defense. I think he only missed one tackle on the weekend. So he's going to develop into not just being that big, rangy bull runner. We obviously want to see way more of that. But look, I actually like what Lecker's been doing. I can't say I've hated it. I think there's better days ahead, and I'll be buying low on Lecker if I could.
Lukey Metcalf. There's a bit about this Wars team this week. So Lukey Metcalf is there in 20. I think we've been pretty vocal on the potty that CHT, Jesus, he's put an argument together to not be dropped from a real life perspective. He is playing such good footy. Sneaky, decent playmaker as well. He's not without hands. So if you're the Tanner Boyd owner, try and get one more big week here. Get a big week against Para. If you can parlay that into a big trade to pick up an improvement, and maybe you're sitting on a Daddy Fermor plus a Tanner Boyd, for example, just plucking it out. You go out and get one of these other halfbacks because, Todzer, you said it, mate. You think possibly CHT and Metcalf is the preferred combo, like in your head. I couldn't agree with you more, mate, personally.
Yeah. I think that's the best case scenario for like Luke Metcalf and the whole situation. I think that's what makes us the best team to win a final. I don't think Tanner Boyd is that guy. So that's where I'm going. I just really hope that Metcalf doesn't play at all this weekend and maybe get some reps in New South Wales Cup, because he didn't look fit enough to be playing NRL when he came back. It was rushed back in. So need him to get some time under his belt in reserve grade, to be perfectly honest. I wouldn't want to see him for another couple of weeks, to be perfectly honest, like if we could, because the Wires are going so, like we're going well and we want to be there at the finals crunch time. Let him recover, let him get some match fitness. We don't need to rush him in. Tanner's been fine.
You guys are going to pummel this Eels middle, right? We know there's going to be space. I actually don't mind the idea of having him there, Todzer, pull up stumps nice and early for whichever half you want. Doesn't really matter. Throw him in there for 20 minutes. Get him a bit of confidence to probably set up 3. Just how badly Garrett may go here. The other gentleman I wanted to mention is Todzer. We spoke about it, but Big Barney, mate, before he got the head clash, he was on 38 points in like 20 minutes off the bench. He looked back to that. You know, he does that turn in the line and he's got his arm free for an offload and he's taken guys with him. He looked fantastic. So if he gets dropped this week, listeners, I would be very comfortable picking him up as an FRF2 minimum. If he misses Origin as well, obviously the round 12 you've got to think of too. And I think he probably will miss Origin. He's missed too much footy. Missed way too much.
I don't think he's in the contention for Origin. Like when you look at the Origin front rows, they're in contention. You got T-May, Alex Twal's being talked about. You got Payne. Payne Haas won't be back at that time.
He's not even the best New South Wales front rower at his club at the moment.
Yeah, Jackson Ford.
Jackson Ford has to be picked. Like if he's a Queenslander, Simo, you and I both know he's pretty much first on the team sheet, how he's been playing. he would be in there.
100%. But like the depth isn't the same, obviously, between the two states. But there's no way Barney gets picked, especially if Jackson Ford doesn't. I mean, that'd be nuts.
All right, over to a very interesting matchup. For those listeners who had faith in Roosters players on draft day, I said to hang on because some good times were coming. And boy, Simo, your Roosters, mate, in attack, it has really turned around against some pretty crappy opposition. The hope is that they'll be able to, with that increased cohesion that you sometimes get and confidence, that they've now found something. And shout out to you, mate. Probably your best call in terms of waivers this year. There is no chance Hugo Savala gets dropped the way he's playing. He's doing all the little things right, little just good moments, good team play. I'm happy to start. It's green light for all 5 of that back line again, if you're still with us, Simo.
Yeah. No, Savala's he's been so good. I mean, yeah, he's one of those ones that like it's taken a while for everyone to sort of buy into him, like keeping that spot. I was in a bit of a roster pinch in our League of Record on the weekend and try to trade into a few people, but it was fair enough that a few people couldn't really buy into like that security there. But like, I just don't know how often we've got to keep seeing it.
Few technical difficulties for the Brits. So I'll just continue that thought. It is a tough one. If he's out there, Todzer, I'm all right with it, mate. As a 5'8" eligible player, I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, I don't think so either. I think that duel was really handy at 5'8" there. So yeah, I'm all about it.
Archer Sam, welcome to the potty, sir. Has Savala always played centre? No, he hasn't. He's been a half last year. He was a giant halfback alongside Sammy Walker with a raking boot. Pre-season, because obviously he was due to lose his spot to DCE in the halves, he trained in the centres, like actually put in the work and got himself ready to move laterally defensively, and it's paid off. He's just a talented player. And what spectacular coverage for the halves he is, like in-game. From an extra player on the pitch. It's wonderful. Meso's the same. Didn't believe he'd keep the spot over E-Bike Billy. I like that. Good shout from Simo. Yeah. Timo, kudos where it is due, good sir. You did predict it, and it's pretty much locked in at this point. Unfortunately, Connor Watson not getting enough to be hooker eligible. Real shame. Probably, I think he's well documented. His time will be up. The Bronx
What's
have got
doing with Connor Watson, mate? Just quickly on Connor Watson, like he played Origin last year, and he played really good last year, but just hasn't kicked on this year at all.
He did drop, in my opinion, Todzer, dropped off a bit towards the back end of last year, especially when he was rotating. Simo, we spoke a bit about this. His service from dummy half got very clunky, and he would run the ball at the wrong time, like Reed Marnie, and I think it pissed Robbo off.
Oh, you don't want to be on the outer at the Roosters, mate. Once you're on the outer, Trent Robinson is not going to play him many minutes this year, unfortunately. Like, he'll be one of those guys that gets picked up by random people hoping that things can turn around. But the fact that he's, looking like he's going to sign with Manly by the looks of it, the Roosters have made their call and they're going to move on for him. So
Manly, I don't mind that.
Be very surprised if he play unless there's an injury somewhere.
Yeah. You would think technically, even though he's on the bench as the hooker, Aielu would actually be the hooker that would come in and start if Robbo Touchwood was to go down. And depending, I think Roosters don't have great bye coverage. It's good if you have an Origin Rooster. But even in that one major round they play, Aielu would start, I would think.
Yeah, well, we saw that week 1 and 2, didn't we?
That's right. Bronx have got some troops back, gentlemen. So good to see for Bronx fans. They've been outstanding these 2 weeks. Not as a fan or someone who really wants to see them succeed. Got to tip the cap. Their defense has been, awesome. Todzer, I know you're of this opinion. I don't care how good Stephen Crichton is, or theoretically. Katoni Staggs has to be there for Origin. His defense is just, it's bonkers.
He was pretty elite on the weekend. He was pretty elite. Good luck dropping Stephen Crichton.
Yeah. It's fine, but I put Critter on the left, but then you got Latrell. So how do you do it? There's a really gun player missing out on the right-hand side here.
Katoni Staggs misses out.
I'll be honest with you, I think Critter's
100%.
so mistake-prone. He's been so mistake-prone in recent times. There's been times in games with the Dogs. He's having a bad. So
this is a horrible take.
Yeah. Dude,
you think you reckon he's not been mistake-prone? I think he'll get picked for Origin, and I think that's the way they'll go. He has not been good in clutch moments for the Bulldogs this entire season. He's been very poor.
What? Do he kick the field goal in Golden Point to win in Vegas, not clutch?
He actually saved that with a mistake he made where he tried to do too much on the sideline, trying to do this weird offload thing. Tell me, listeners, Latrell. Listeners, tell me if you've watched it. Critter is not in good form.
That's not the debate. It's Katoni Staggs versus Critter, not Latrell versus Critter.
Not even close.
Yeah, no, Latrell's got his name on one of those jerseys.
Latrell can pick whichever jersey he wants to play in. Oh, my goodness. He is unbelievable.
Latrell's playing a bonkers brand of football at the moment. We'll get to that in a moment. So Reece Walsh is back. Always makes me so nervous with these cheek injury returns when they rush him back. Oh, my God. Just touch wood. I hope he gets through, but you know what footy's like. Stray elbow, stray knee. Oh, Jesus. Then it's risk of catastrophic injury. So he's tough for all these haters out there that, he's a pretty boy and stuff. He is tough as nails, this guy. Full respect to the man. So hope he goes well. With Walsh back then, if you have been waiting to get on the Karapani train, which we've been advising for quite some time now, still get on said train. There's going to be some upside coming. It could even be this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Love the Walsh is there. That's perfect. Shibasaki probably as well benefits from this return. He hasn't been too bad in the last couple of weeks. And Dean Mariner is probably just a really good platoon guy for the right matchups. Green light, amber light for this one, Tots.
I don't know. I wouldn't be green lighting Shibasaki. Probably wouldn't be firing up Mariner. I don't know. The amber light for Karapani is a bit of a tough matchup. I don't know if it's going to be crazy amount of points. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a crazy amount of points. If I had, for the Broncos, I don't know. I would be staying away from Mariner and Shibasaki anyway.
I could live with the no Mariner. He's always a risky start for the floor. I think the left are a red-hot chance in this one. Critter will get picked for Origin. Yeah, he's at a low ebb in form. Thank you for acknowledging. Overplaying his hand. He is overplaying his hand. Critter still over Stags. Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's crazy that Stags, if he had a different state to play for again, he would be he'd have a mortgage on that spot. But anyway, is what it is. Tulty and Xavier Willison, Todger, staying with the Bronx. Willison's been outstanding, but does move into the back row, which historically has not been as good for him.
It hasn't been good for him. Yeah. Don't love it at back row.
I don't either. I'm going to say if someone thinks he's as good as, and I'm going to call it now because he's my buy low of the week, Kolomatangi finally looks like he's not limping his way through a game of football. It's finally happened. We've only been waiting eight rounds. If someone's getting very excited about a Xavier Willison, for example, I would start to look for those sort of buy lows like your Kolomatangis. You may not get it straight up. Maybe you do. But to lock in the rest of season value, this would be the week to pounce for me.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Tulty, FRF2, while Haas isn't there.
Yeah, while Haas not there, he's been pretty good. Tulty finds his front real quick, play the balls. I like the cut of his jib. Haven't used that this year, so
he's got a quality bit of jib to cut, mate. That's good from you. All right, Ezra, ma'am, truthers, rejoice. He's getting closer to that round one draft value at some point in the next 5 years.
Man, how many more years of that do you have? You probably only got next year for that. Three more years.
3 to go, mate.
Was a 12-year deal, was it?
Only 5. I keep keeping receipts. Knights v Bunnies. We've got some troops back, boys. It's finally happened. Defend the castle. Kalen is back. Look, I'm not going to waste listeners' time if he's out there just because of what could be. By all means, sell your firstborn. He's out there. He's going to be good in this team. Bradman Best is one that could very easily have been dropped to a frustrated owner. How high is the waiver claim, Simo, versus some of those other options? Like I think Tuala is the highest CTW we said to date.
Look, Bradman Best to be head and shoulders above that if he's somehow out there. Your league have to be a pretty new league, I imagine, if he's been dropped and not picked up yet. But yeah, spend number one if you have to for Bradman Best. Easy.
Meso's added Gieseski as an edge. 10 and 11 is weird. Fully agree with you. Sandon Smith, he's one that would be facing a lot of owners. So he has, in fact, lost his spot, which was predicted. I think in response to this question, Stanger, and great to have you back, mate, is lost the starter role as Sandon, but he's got Cook on his bench to Stanger. Undermanned this week with 2RF, free agent Crossland. You can't start Crossland right now with Sandon Smith there. That's just... You're hoping he gets the 13 minutes from Croker, but with Tyson Frizzell there as well, that is a chance of going very badly. Agreed, Simo?
Oh, yeah. From his options here, Crossland, Lussick, and Sonny Luke, I mean, it has to be it can't be Sonny Luke playing 25 minutes off the bench. So, it really is Crossland and Lussick who are guys who are probably going to get spelled at some point. So I think Lussick will probably get spelled less minutes, so I'd probably lean him. But Crossland's probably got obviously greater standing within his coach and his team. But yeah, I mean, they're not great options, but I'd probably just go Lussick and hopefully he can lay on something or score one like he did last week.
Couple of pretty straightforward ones for me here, Todd's. Trade Meany for Dom Young as a waiver. Yes. Yep. Very, very comfortably. And if Margie was dropped worth a waiver, yeah, absolutely. Just with playing on the back of that, this night's side, I don't hate the matchup either. So that's a yes for me too.
Agreed.
I wouldn't be spending very high on Marju, but I would be spending a waiver.
On Dom Young, I would go higher than Bradman Best. That would be close to my number one for the week. Trey Fuller first if he's out there, but I absolutely love Dom Young. That back line, sign me up. Geez, that's an impatient owner who dropped Dom Young there after. Wow, that's amazing. Quick one.
You'd rather waiver Trey Fuller over Bradman Best? Did I hear you say?
Yeah.
That's wild.
just with the injury and the week 12, admittedly, I'm coming from a buy perspective, Simo, because we play 12, but I think the injury we don't know officially I'm literally picturing his broken hand. Shout out to him, but for some reason my brain is fading here. Avarillo, thank you, mate. Can't imagine that's a rush back job with the surgery that poor bugger's gone through. That was gruesome stuff. Woof. Yeah, happy to cater to all tastes, Tyler. So with and experiences. So welcome aboard, mate. Good to have you. So what's a waiver? Simply, mate, it's that at the end of each round, I guess progressively throughout the week, people get locked off into like owned by the site. So essentially, you have to then put in a claim to pick up a player. And that's essentially done via like an order in your league. So there's one, say you got a 10-team league, you'll have like a priority order of those, and you put an offer on the site for that player to drop one of yours and to be processed through waivers and have a chance to pick that player up based on priority. Is that simple enough explanation, gentlemen? Usually not wonderful at those.
Yeah, that'll do it, mate. I think you're done away.
Probably, yeah, it's one of those things that it's always going to sound convoluted whenever you try to go through it, but yeah. Go back and listen to that a few times over, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then once waivers are passed, then people can be picked up for free agency, which means you literally just click their name and add them straight away. That's free agency as well. So good to have you aboard, Tyler. Karapani or Dom Young for a waiver claim. Woof, that's very close. That's super close for me.
Give me Karapani in the Broncos with Reece Walsh back.
Can I say I'm delighted just with either of these? If I put a waiver claim in for both and I got either, I'm just pretty damn happy that you bolstered. There's no way that's not better than your fourth CTW. No chance. Agreed, Simo?
Yeah, I'll split the tie here. I'll say Dom Young.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's super close. Cool options. God, I wish they were available in our league. All right. The other player I wanted to mention, I actually skimmed past Dylan Lucas, gentlemen. I'm going to presume the man wasn't dropped. That would be a shocking drop. Go get Dylan Lucas if he's out there above all the other names we've said tonight very comfortably. Yeah. You got to say it, Todd. There, you should see.
Dropping Dylan Lucas, brother. No, not a single league has dropped Dylan Lucas.
You should see some of the DMs that our dear listeners do send our way at times, and I'll be like, wow, you can pick that player up. And I'll go, is that via trade? And it'll be like, no, that's a waiver. And I'll be like,
yeah, I guess in 4-team leagues he might have been dropped. That's true.
Colomatungi was just flat dropped. Okay. Yeah, cool. Go do that. Do that. So, all right. It's pretty nuts. Latrell Mitchell. Just stay fit, buddy. Just please stay fit. This is your season. This is the Dally M. This is where Bunnies are a contender somehow with, I don't think, that great a roster, to be honest, but he is playing out of his mind. It's ridiculous. So just stay fit. As a league fan.
Yeah.
Keon moves to the 11. Brandon Smith, the cheese. The in-game injury risk too high. We call you boys are all over it on the potty. It's going to be just nasty work. Great role. The role is elite, but he's just so hard to trust. Tell us, Duncan, the truthers will be enjoying what he's doing. He looked like a man amongst boys last week. That was unbelievable.
He's crazy good, hey?
Yep. Cameron Munster will be having nightmares.
Mate, he wouldn't look out of place. Would not look out of place. He's outstanding. Him, Preston, and Huddy Young right now. That's what some luxuries to have. Like, unbelievable.
Kawatu says hello.
Oh, yeah. That guy can play too.
He's in the frame as well. Like, right side edge back rowers. Obviously, Tallis can play either. He's completely fine. But Jesus, they've got some options there on the right of the back row. Whereas
who's going to get that left edge this year?
Hudson Young.
Huddy Young.
If he's not the first.
Huddy Young. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, true.
I actually saw there's been some publications these journalists have actually got him on the bench. I'm like, what football are you watching? Seriously?
Tell me they're putting Liam Martin there. Tell me they're putting
Liam Martin has been in most of the sides on the right, even with injury, which is, I understand he plays tough stuff. He has not got the skill of these other blokes. Come on.
Play him in the middle, dog. Doesn't him go nuts in the middle?
I would love to see him rip and tear for 35 minutes in the guts and just run.
He looks like a bloke that smells, though. Holy.
Oh.
Sorry, that just came to my head. My bad. My
Wow.
bad. Shout out Liam Martin, you curly hair.
Number one fan of the potty getting absolutely belted. Bloody hell.
It is what it is.
Unbelievable. All right. Sharks versus the West Tigers. Sharkies need to keep momentum. Tigers, yeah, it's interesting with no Buller. They drop a notch here in attack. I think quite a decent amount. So just ever so nervous for the Tigers here, Tozza, that they may not have that same flow because Buller on the sweep has been just lethal for them and in support play as well. So can you green light? I just want to read two names. Actually, it'd be three names. So Skelton, our boy Stafford, and Lau Lily, who played a fantastic game, Supercoach in real life on the weekend again.
Yeah.
Can you green light any of them in this, what could be a pretty soft defensive matchup? Talakai sucks defensively. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's because he played the last 2 years in the middle. Of course he's going to suck defensively against fast guys. Really weird one with this one. I think the Buller thing does hurt them a lot. He creates heaps throughout the middle and on the sweep, like you said. I'd be happy to fire up Skelton. I'd be happy to fire up Lau Lily. I think you'll probably get one. Just bang on tried. Stafford this week. I mean, we've talked about Stafford being very good this week. Bit of a tough one. I probably wouldn't fire a Stafford up this week, but that's just me. He is playing outside that $1.3 million Jerome Luai, baby.
Yeah,
free money.
if he's comfortable with that lifestyle for those few years, good luck to him, mate. Like
3 years in a hotel, please, for 1.3 mil. I'd suck someone's toes.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Generational wealth, mate. Some of us owe. Did you say?
Someone's toes.
I thought you said it's what some of us owe. Doesn't need financial help, people. Please.
I'm in a hole, boys. 1.3.
If you need financial help, though, Toddy, like go to PNG because the tax benefits, mate. That's why
brother.
Blue Eyes do it.
If I had an online business, I'd be out of PNG, brother. I'll tell you that for free.
That's so good. I wish you'd have said that. That's awesome. All right.
There'd be some toes over there too.
I got a story for you at the end of this. That's funny.
Boys, if you had a Sydney mortgage, it could be what you owe. Yeah, the old Brizzy mortgage is not too far behind. Bad luck. Also, Meso's come in. Sean Kepi played the best game of his career. Bunny Socials cut up a highlights package of his tackles and his domination. He actually did defend surprisingly well. I'll give you that, Meso.
Could not care less about Sean Kepi.
Sometimes you got to watch for real life, and he did shut him down in the guts, which is very rare for this man. I'm going to jump into this one now because Talakai has been mentioned. So, Stanger says, on a roster squeeze as Billy Kicks and Martin owner, just start off, Martin's definitely droppable, by the way, with that the dual injuries, because it'll be his spot might be lost as well. And Matty Nicholson's a chance of coming back as well. So that's an easy drop for me. Both look out for a while. Got Rauchman on a bye, need 2RF cover this week, rest of season. He's got McEwen, bye, Talakai, or D. Egan.
McEwen.
Yeah. He's got value, and with all these players coming back for the Knights, I think McEwen quite clearly for me. If you wanted to go the short term and just run a bit of Talakai this week till he's dropped for his defensive frailties, Simo, probably not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. Talakai's obviously got the upside, albeit he probably just had the game where he hit that, so chances of him doing it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Law of averages would suggest probably not. So, I think you go McEwen there and just ride that base.
I wouldn't drop Billy Kicks, of course, just in case that was part of the equation. All right. Would you waiver Skelton for Seb Chris? I would not waiver Jarrell Skelton personally unless I was in a very deep league and there's many other CTWs in front, Nat Newcomb. So thank you for joining us, good sir. All right. Good question, that Stanger. I like that one. Okay, so I actually think there could be some, if you've got Stone Street in your platoon or Hiroti in your platoon, I'm absolutely fine to fire them up. I think Sharks are going to score some points here.
Yeah, boy, they need to score. They're such a weird team, the Sharks. I said it to you last week, Redford. There's a reason they're never going to win the league with this team. They don't have any grit. When any time gets tough, man, they are just fold.
They get really soft up the middle. And they're also they remind me of the Roosters when it's going against them. Someone like Toby Rudolph had about 3 errors and 2 penalties in the space of about like dead set 7 minutes. And he looks clueless every time. I love the bloke. I think he's fantastic. He just looks around like, I think I did something there, but I'm not sure what it was. And then just runs back and does it again.
This week he'll come out, he'll score a meat pie, and he'll run for 100, he'll look unreal. Guarantee you.
Kind of bonkers there. I think they're very, very inconsistent. If all their players play well at the same time, could almost beat anyone but probably the Penny Panthers. But they don't all play well at the same time. Like tricky Trindle, Simo.
Trindle's not inconsistent, is he?
What the hell was that performance? He didn't do
6 points. 6.
It's bonkers. Like, that's what he can give you.
Hard to do.
Funnily enough, I've been very critical of Will Kennedy. He's probably the one that's been somewhat consistent for them this year. He's having a good season. Like
consistently shit. It's good.
I don't agree. I don't think this year he's come up. He actually, I know we've talked about it a bit. He's copped a bit from us on this body, but he's been pretty good. So, mate, just looking for value, mate. The one that has to be discussed, and it will be there for the Noah Martin owner of I'm one, as I've said. Britton Nickera. It's a nervous waiver claim with Billy Burns. Like, you want Billy just to be gone, but maybe a low claim for me, mate. Can you make an argument here?
Yeah, he's had on waivers in our league for a few weeks now, and I reckon there'll be a majority of leagues out there now where he's also out there. Like, he really hasn't shown any reason for us to be jumping on him, but just like history of what he has been probably was it 2 years ago now, where he was sort of like a top 5 2RF come draft day. Obviously, he hasn't quite nailed that sort of consistency down, but just, for someone like yourself that's lost Noah Martin, or if you've got Dragons guys on bye, if you're a really, really kick-out owner, anyone like that, then look, I could see a scenario where you're looking at your free agents going, he's probably as good a chance as anyone out there to first of all get 80 minutes, but also like score a meat pie. He hits you like a 75 plus on the weekend. So probably like a low end waiver is very fine. I couldn't justify anything in the top 5 really, but anything after that, like team need dependent, I think it's okay.
Yeah, and he's definitely obviously Lasardi with a bullet in terms of 2RF options in many leagues. So Lasardi would be your number 1 for sure. You'd even probably rather take a punt and house Dylan Egan, I'd say, Simo, if I'm being honest. You definitely blink twice if you agree, Simo. Excellent. Tots?
Yes, mate.
Dylan Egan is not quite named yet.
How far away is Dylan Egan?
There was a red-hot chance it was this week, but he might get eased back in.
If you were to say to me...
My apologies, Tots. Red-hot chance he's back next after their bye, but he may come back to New South Wales Cup, sorry.
Yeah. I think I'm on my team. Yeah, if I need a guy this week, if those guys at Simo is out, mentioned are out, I'd be happy with Nickera, but I would prefer to have a stash of Egan season long.
Yeah.
He scored 2 tries in New South Wales Cup last week.
There you go. So
Did he really? There you go.
Yeah.
It's a red-hot chance around, okay. That's good to know, around 10. So, Lasardi ahead. Nane, gentlemen, really quickly, just say Nane or Nickera if you had to pick one.
Oh, I love Jeremiah Nane, but it shouldn't be Nane. Nickera has been a good Supercoach player in the past. Nane hasn't, but for me it's Nane, but
Tops?
It shouldn't be.
I would go Nickera, yeah.
I'll go Nickera, but I certainly I'm partial to both, so it's close. Cam McInnes is back starting, gentlemen. So Jesse Colquhoun, they're going to butcher minutes, but if Cam gets a 60-minute role here and Colquhoun just sort of rolls through the middle a bit more, because he does play a safer game, Colquhoun, is there any hope for McInnes in that 60 minutes, Tots?
I don't think so. I think he really needs that higher minutes. 60 is probably a bit too short, and I do think he's going to get less than 60 for the next probably 10 weeks. I think Colquhoun's really going to kill him.
Okay.
Apparently did a really good TED talk on Cam McInnes during the week, mate.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonder if he did it with a tooth in, tooth out. Oh. Anyway, just what I'm thinking about, mate.
Ickiness's teeth and those P&G toes that you love.
The P&G toes. I think that's worthy of a very good on this podcast. I think McInnes is worth a free agent pickup if you miss out on those other options. I think with the start, they'll want him in there to add a bit of starch up the middle because I think that's where they've been struggling a little bit. So, yeah. All right. I did actually miss as well with KPP stood down for concussion. So, was the first bit of setback for KPP owners. Obviously, injury-affected game last week, and then he sat down for one. Tony Sukar, we've been waiting for a while for him to get a run here, Simo. I want to see him. I want to see this. I had a look through. It's tough to frame an argument that he should be starting in a 10-team league, but 14 teamers, rejoice.
Absolutely. I think it has to be said. Honestly, it can't go unsaid. Like
where truth is
14 team plus has to be 14 team plus. But you guarantee if he comes out and just kills it this week, we're going to say like next week that he should have been owned everywhere. Like, just get on him if you're in a deep league.
I love it.
Or a 6-man league.
Shout out to the best stepper in the front row in Royce Hunt. Holy crap.
Oh, hello, Royce.
That's awesome. He's a big fan. Just a Royce Hunt fan. All right. That's it for that one.
I'll get my rant out of the way now that you've brought it up. So most of the listeners out there, this won't have affected them because look, Will Penasini is not a very highly owned Supercoach player. Mm-hmm. But Will Penasini dead set through the last pass to Brian Kelly on the weekend and did not get a try assist for it. He got nothing for it. Like
not
absolutely
even a TC.
Nothing.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Have you done your Twitter rant thing yet, Simo?
Bad time for the old internet to come clock out there. Oh, here he is. He's back.
Here I am.
You're fading in and out, mate. You're fading in and out.
What a rant.
Just someone cut me off. Just get rid of me.
Law or Sukar this week? I think as a 1 week play, I'd rather the Sukes. Give me some Sukes.
Yeah. Sukar.
Chance Bloor hangs on to the spot, though, so just jump in. Meso's on you here, Simo. Just picking up your convo. Justice for Penasini. For Penasini.
It should, you got to go back and look at it because it was the garden variety try assist in the way that it's been ruled this year. And to see, nothing against Twile, but, him putting Royce Hunt through 60 meters out and have Royce Hunt just blow past a fullback, which is this, the best thing you'll ever see, but you can't obviously bank on that. Twile getting a try assist, line break assist for that. Not saying he shouldn't have
that as well.
He did.
It's a long run,
he didn't initially, but he did get it in updates. But the fact that Penasini, it's not an argument against Twile getting it, but Penasini, if that's a more highly owned Supercoach player, there's it's just outrage. So I implore listeners to go back and look at that highlight and tell me that should not be a try assist because it honestly couldn't be more garden variety.
Yeah, Meso's made the point we're all thinking here. I take the broader point. Top name get the points, the roughies don't. I absolutely agree. It's like they don't scrutinize them enough because they just cater to classic a lot more, it would seem. I get it. It's the bigger brand and content, but still get it right.
Yeah, the only thing I've been able to sort of figure out with Penasini's one is that Brian Kelly, so the fullback and I think it's the center come across and Kelly kind of trips over himself and lands on the ground and then the other guys they overrun him. So then he gets himself up off the ground and dives over. So they must have ruled that Kelly has then beaten the last line of defense on his own. But honestly, I'm clutching at straws to figure out how they've done that. But if that's Trell Mitt that hasn't got that, or Stags, any of your big name centers, Critter, it's just everyone's blown up. So as Mason said, justice for Penasini.
Yeah, there was one that the Sam Walker one earlier in the year to Billy Smith we started, Simo, and that got our attention, if you remember that. I think you and I both thought, well, hang on, he put him inside the center. Billy Smith did beat one, but then played over the line. I think that was scored nothing in the end. Maybe a TC. and it threw us a little bit. I think we were like, hang on, I thought it was going to be simplified. So, yeah, that's a good point out, mate. Keep bringing those up for us for the potty.
Yeah, like for me, it's just the fact that it's a centre. Like the big rule change in the offseason was that like centres are going to get all this extra value because they throw the last pass and that's how they're going to reward them now. Like to see that one not given, and like I was full disclosure, I was actually against the Tennessee in our draft comp on the weekend. So like, this is honestly coming from just pure like as unbiased as you can get. I just think it's not.
Justice for SuperCoach, mate. I love it. He's a truther, a SuperCoach truther. All right, and moving on to the final game of the weekend, the mighty Penny Panthers against the resurgent Seagulls. So really good to see Jamal Fogarty named because it was a bit of a groin tweak at the end, Tots. It's going to test that average, mate, but quickly deciding, is there enough tape now to say he's legit and we've completely undervalued him coming into this season? Because that's 8 rounds now of 70-ish average. He's playing phenomenal real-life football as well. Yeah, he's probably a scary start here as these Manly players are. But is he legit?
Yeah, I think he's a top 10 halfback for sure. Look, legit, I think there could be a downfall for Manly. Like it's I think he's really good SuperCoach player, but I just think that 75 is a little bit over is where I think he will end the year.
My only counter to that, and he's not a starter, but I've got him in a flex league. I just think Manly is set up to score points the way that Foz has got him playing, and this week is not great. We know that. This is tough. If you can sit all these Manly guys, sit them. But I think that if he has a shit week this week, Simo, I really like the idea of someone who doesn't believe in Fogarty and he's sitting on probably isn't their starter. I think he's a really good guy for the run home because they're going to beat up on weaker defenses with this PVL ball.
Yeah, he's an interesting one, Fogarty. Like, I get the feeling he's just come off a great run. Like, I think he's just had a good run. I think you're about to get the downturn of Fogarty, and obviously it's going to start this week with Penrith. But to your point, I mean, look, there's not any I can't sit here and definitively say that he won't be back on a high end of the swing come sort of the back end of the year, and he could easily do a job for you in the back end on the run home to the finals. It's just a tough sell with a guy like Fogarty because I just don't know if the general perception of him is that if people can really buy in. He's just one of those guys that is always just going to have a little bit more value to the person that owns him, and then to go out and buy Fogarty. It's just sometimes there's just these players that people just can't really get around. Just because it's whether it's play style or sort of like stereotypes that he's sort of gotten over his career. It's a bit of a tough one, but I mean, if you can look to sell him on his average, that's great. If your league will do that, but I also see it from the other side of the coin where I do see some people go, look, nah, they've just had a good run. Maybe I'll just pass. So yeah, it's just really is league dependent.
Yeah, and it depends on who your starter is because preseason. Like a Dearden, people are like, oh, Tommy Dearden's a great Origin player. He'll be great for SuperCoach. And then you compare averages and consistency, and there's a clear winner out of those. So, yeah, just wanted to bring him up as a bit of a temperature check. But, yeah, it's been a pleasure to own him as a flex spot. I can give you that. So we'll finish off with Manly here. If you can literally red light this entire team this week, as you will often do against Panthers, this is your week to do it. But obviously, Tolo Kula is going to be your 4 CTW. It's hard to platoon him out. Didn't quite hit the upside, but the base was fantastic. Clayton Falalo, we're a fan, Simo. We're a fan. He did enough as we thought.
Don't
after this week. Hang on.
Yeah, I was just putting the fingers up number 3. Falalo was very good last week. Yeah, he's one of those guys that could grow into his role a bit. So yeah, I like it.
Just the rest of it, you're going to start Olakau'atu almost certainly this week as well. Paseka's probably fine as your FRF2 because you still think you'll get enough base stat to make it work. And Burbo Truthers of the world, absolutely step up. He's tonned up. He's averaging 75. And for those who picked him up just in time for this run, just enjoy it because he's outscoring a lot of highly thought after 2RFs.
Sell as high as possible. Go get yourself Daddy Fermor.
Completely agree. That would be a wonderful trade, Todd. Big fan. Great play.
Or to Pookley Woo's point, Dylan Lucas off waivers.
I like that by the Pookley.
Oh, come on, Pookley Woo. I'm telling you, mate, I would never out listeners individually, but there are some very interesting players dropped out there after one bad week in some leagues. So
no, Pookley Woo's all over it. We'll go waiver Dylan Lucas and Kalen Ponga, Bradman Best. Pick them up if they're out there.
Get out there. I mean, I don't think Best is as crazy as you think. There could be some folks who are very upset with his injury record. He's a nervous start week to week. Bloody hell. He's up in that category for me. All right. Penrith.
Starting him every week.
Penrith, tough to trust. Garner, that's really tough. And I will address some news that's just come in. Thank you to our listeners. But really, aside from that, we had a Brian To'o sighting against Newcastle. See, finally. Oh, my God.
Yeah, boy.
I'm surely owners, although they've been very disgruntled, I hope they got their reward and started and got a W because, boy, it's been tough. I would be selling. Holy crap, I'd be selling right now if I was an owner. I would sell so hard. Try and parlay it into something bigger.
I am hold.
Be all about the sell. I think they'll return to form on the left-hand side pretty bloody quickly. Luke Garner's not showing enough in terms of minutes to really start him. Lindsay Smith continues to struggle, Todd's, I believe. I don't think there's anything to see there. Looks pretty plotterish, to be honest.
Struggle straight from Lindsay Smith.
Like he wasn't highly drafted, Lindsay, but he was like a mid-round draft pick. He could be up there with one of the bigger disappointments of the season.
He would be.
Like he is like bust of the year will go to someone that's higher up in the draft board, but
till last week.
Val Holmes.
Val's shown more than To'o before last week, but yeah, I think To'o was leading that. Lindsay would definitely be in the conversation. I agree with that too. Kalani, Turaf, Hooker Goings, just keep on keeping on that bench. You love to see it. All right, that's all for the teams this week. I just wanted to do a quick recap. So, as Pookley Woo has said, Dylan Lucas, number one, maybe with Ponga based on team need. Very good. But the realistic ones, gentlemen, so I think we're confident with if Lasardi's out there, folks, which I think there'll be some leagues, he's the guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trey Fuller, we love. Absolutely should be owned. Go out there and get him. Apparently, Dom Young is out there in some leagues. I also think that's pretty damn juicy. I'm just going through the order here, gentlemen. I think we also just an asterisk Savala if he hadn't yet been picked up. He's a high-end claim for 5'8", and I think there'll be leagues that didn't believe. The other ones here, Nane, low end. We said Nikora was low end. We threw in some CTW options. So Tuala, low end. Best, high end. Marju, low end. We also threw in, if Karapani is somehow still out there, please go spend a good claim and pick him up and enjoy. You're going to have a very good time. Then we threw in a couple of buy lows. So I probably didn't go hard enough on this point, but Colin Matangi doesn't look injured, and he's now going to get his minutes back. Go and get him if someone thinks he's the average he is now. That is going to turn, and it's going to be very nice. The other one is Lecker. Todd's up. Threw in Lecker. Lasima. Simo, did you quickly, mate, buy low, sell highs? Did you have anyone to throw at that, mate, from you?
Buy low, by country mile is Fletcher Sharp at the moment.
Good one.
He's looked busted for the last few weeks, but like he's a matter of time until he's back to fitness. So I actually think Ponga being back and Sharp back in the 6 is going to go great for Fletcher. So if you can jump on that, then do so. Obviously, easier said than done. Sell high. To'o's a good shout. I think that's pretty good. But like even if you can sell Xavier Wilson for what he's done the last few weeks, like it's not a hard sell, but I think he'll lose a few points going back to the edge. So if you can find someone that really believes, I think he's a prime sell high candidate.
Yep, I like it. I see a couple of questions in here. Actually, I'll go to the news first. So Will's just mentioned that Villy kicked 12 weeks and surgery.
Right.
So So Satilli, just to make sure we landed on that advice, is it his back row spot to lose, Todger, in your opinion?
Yeah, the fact that he's been named there this week means he's first up for that edge role. I think we mentioned it back during the Dogs game, but I don't think he's going to play 80, especially this week. He might work into 80, especially over 12 weeks. He'll probably work into 80, but even then, like, it's not a crazy big role. But as an FRF2, I think we all agreed that he would be pretty good.
Yeah, shout out to Stanger as well, who dropped the same news. Appreciate it, gents. Interesting. Wow. Okay, that kick hours a drop then, boys. I know if you've got a crazy deep bench you have the luxury for, that's a drop.
12 weeks is too much.
I think Martin's a drop as well at 8 with his circumstance, and Billy Kicks is just 12. That's just too long. Paul's, Jesus, that's pretty impressive. You've got a very active league there, Paul, I believe. Meso, for sure it's Satilli's role to have Seraldo saving current for centres. Get him and Cookie in there, mate, into the centres. It works well. All right. Simo, any questions from the Mighty X?
There is. While I bring him up, I'll just look just on the Curran versus Satilli thing. I mean, I feel like Curran leaving is going to really hurt Josh in this. I think that's a vote for Tupanua, so actually pushes Tupanua up the rankings a bit this week. I think he's got to be sort of like a top 5 claim.
Agreed. He goes ahead of Nikora and Nane for me now, Simo, with that news.
Yep. Alrighto. Pick 2 rest of season.
Mm-hmm.
Teague Wilton, Dylan Egan, or Jeremiah Nene. We'll just rank them.
Dylan Egan.
Pick 2, I'd pick Wilton. I'll go Wilton just for his base floor combo, and Egan am I 2 there.
Yep.
You're the same, Toddy. Yep.
Yeah, that's the same for me.
The next one's from Shred. He actually asked a few questions, but I think he must have deleted them. This one's a bit of a layup, I guess. Would you trade Tuapiki for McLean?
Yeah.
Do
Twice
that.
on Sundays. I'd give away my firstborn for Casey McLean.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty easy one, Shred. Hopefully you've done that already. So, no, that's it. I thought he actually had more, but he must have got rid of them. So, yeah, that's all.
So before you go to the Book of Face, mate, just one here I want you from our man Anthony, I believe. Drop Fermor for Lasati.
No, if Lasati's out there on waivers, I'll be picking him up with someone else, not Fermor.
Yeah, if your roster's that strong that he's your weakest, I'd just hang on to Daddy Fermor, personally.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony or Levide?
It could be Levide or Levide. One of the two. Had a beer with him. It's been going great, me and Levide.
Levide hasn't been back after last week.
He'll be back. Just like Cade Snowden will be back. They all come back.
All right. Me, yes, over to the Book of Face. I mean, we've gone through pretty much a lot of these names here, but just from Dario, he says, please rank Karapani, Toya, Tamale, Satilli, and Tuala. Just says, please rank them. Yeah.
Satilli in terms of waivers.
I'd assume this is waivers. I mean, it says, please rank.
For a flex spot.
Could be for a flex.
I heard Tamale in there.
Tamale, Robert Toya, Karapani, Satilli Tupanua, and Anari Tuala.
Toya, Karapani, Tamale, Satilli, and there was a 5th one there, wasn't there, Todd?
Tuala, your boy, mate.
Yeah, Tuala, yeah. That's that order I just had.
Any different, Simo?
Give me Tamale 1.
Yeah, boy. I love me some Tamale,
Yeah,
I like that. I like that order. Tamale, Karapani, Toya, Satilli, Tuala.
Toya over Karapani too.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm Karapani, but that's okay.
Yep.
We've sort of already been through these ones, boys. Just says John says he's got a mid waiver. He needs a bit of help at hooker and front row. He's thinking Tupanua, Mariota, and Lussick. He asked if Alex McDonald or Jaden Bradley worth a shout, both playing in the 13. I think we're all pretty much off those two in the 13.
Hard no for those two. If they fluke a score, then good luck to you.
good luck to you. Definitely Lussig's probably the best hooker available option we were talking about. So, that's good. And then I think Ace was in the chat. He's got the Trey Fuller hammer Ponga scenario he asked about earlier. So he's already been here, mate. That's all we've got from the Book of Face.
Good from you, mate. And just to round things off nicely, sir, could you bring up the mighty listener lead?
Oh, would I ever? All right. I had to get a water and boys saw in my bed. This week, Simo back in the winner's circle, 770. Gave old Sherry a piece of his own pie, old son. Very good by you. SJ's Revenge cops are unfortunate hiding, 9-14 to 8-12. That's unfortunate. Baxter's boys really put up a score this week. Wet Hair Nico went through 8-5-2 versus 8-3-3 in a pretty close one against the Silkwood Slugs there. Slugs on the bottom of the table, finally get 800 courtesy of Sam Walker, and can't get a win, mate. It's tough out here. It's a tough listener league, folks. Bearded Broncos, he's sitting second. He put up 9-9-4 in this league, boys. Pretty decent effort there.
With 12 players as well.
With 12 players. Jackson Ford, 105. Thank you for coming. Latrell Mitchell, 128. Some bloke named Ben Trebojevic managed to dog his way to some points. Adolf Fittler, our boys in the winner's circle. Here he is, 8-6-5 versus 8-5-2. Gave it to you, Redford. Very unfortunate for you, mate, having to take AE there for you early. Yeah, playing the AE, lovely. Worked out well. And in the battle of the week, cop this. The first place, don't go chasing Kurt Fall. Nearly perfect season, mate, but the big Toddy Lloyds put up 871 against you. Cop that, son.
Dude, perfect himself taken down by you.
Beautiful recap. Very good to see. Very good to see you, mate, get one over in there. And for those who quickly asked the League of Record, I was able to take down the Tiod Mound this week in a very important matchup. I'm on the march, mate. On the march, 4 on the bounce. Here we come. And the matchup that I look forward to, Simo and I have a date this weekend as well. So back-to-back BDEers to
lovely.
So good fun indeed. All right. That's some very good stuff from you there, Todd. It's an improved segment with a bit of prep. I love your work. It's good from you. Now, quick couple of wrap-up questions before we finish. So, Archer, we do cater a small amount of classic, mate. So, Hugo Peel, too early to bring in as a cheapie, in my opinion. Could be an AE nightmare, potentially. Not for me. What am I doing at hooker these days as a Verrills victim? I have unsuccessfully tried to navigate between the Big Cheese and Egan and got it wrong every week for the last 4 or 5. So, terribly is the play. And as Todza just led on, I used McEwen as a very good AE of 53 points in the Listener League. So not well is the response to that question. It's tough out there. Our boy Will, Fuller, Karapani, Satilli in waiver order, please. Will, I do know, actually successfully traded back for Reece Walsh after giving him away. He lives in a league that just they fire trades left, right, and center. It's awesome. So, yeah, he got him back after Bula went down. Go figure.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. They're throwing some pretty big players around. Simo, wrap this one up for us, mate. Trey Fuller, Karapani, Satilli. He does have Walsh back, so he won't need the Bula replacement. Just keep that in mind.
True. So, I mean, obviously it looks like he doesn't need any particular position. So I would go, just in a nutshell, rest of season, I'd go Karapani, Fuller, Satilli.
Me too.
Exactly my order too for the big deal club.
Absolutely agree. All right, gentlemen, that brings us to a close. It's been awesome buying, as always, from our 30-odd strong live viewers. We love the support. If you can like and subscribe, folks, if you haven't already, it would really help us. Share it with your footy clubs and whatever, because we want to keep growing the brand, and we can bring you some flashier content and some graphics and stuff with a bit more coin. So, feel free. We'd love to pump some more back into the footy.
Just a few more gongs. That's what they can't wait for.
Look, flashier than this. I got a bloody Warriors paintball shirt here, mate. What are we talking about?
Folks, for every 10 subscribers, you get one of these. Yes. So, thank you, mate. Good work from you tonight. We'll get that internet up and about soon, all right?
Yeah, I say that every week and still nothing. So, to be honest, I think it's the old work computer more than anything else, but that doesn't help anybody, does it? So, anyway.
I didn't want to bring up that you were still using that device, mate, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you.
It's tough life out there, mate. It's a tough
It's
life.
life, mate. It's
You know,
life.
Toddy's there
Great.
sucking toes and
Well, I
shaking,
better put
you know
the
what.
explicit content warning on the old potty tonight. Very good. Love it.
Very good. Do yourself a favour, listeners, go and check out that Penasini non-try assist because that is not good.
Yeah, fair. Good call out. The Todd Mound bringing the sexy to the potty as always, sir. Thank you.
Always, mate. Thank you. Been fun. Been another good episode. Cheers, listeners.
Yeah, I appreciate the good words to me too. Good stuff. Mason Woo giving us a bit of love. Very good. Listeners, good luck this weekend. Don't be afraid. Get out there, make some trades because it's that extra day is going to be huge. Give you more time to negotiate. So absolutely looking forward to some of that now, League of Record and Listener. As always, listeners, get that BDE India. Or